We have another couple of minutes before we start, before 6:30, before the others will join. So we're going to continue the story. It's part 3 of the story of how the Toldus became a CHOSID, a Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov. So what's happening right now, what you have to know is that it's the wedding of either the Toldus' child or grandchild, and he wasn't going because Baal Shem Tov was Masada Kedushin, even though he gave the green light to it. But then he has to come and see him. Is his opposition founded or not? And he comes and he manages to listen to what Baal Shem Tov is saying. The Baal Shem Tov was revealing stories about him. So all the assembled, he was the big Rav of Punda. And the second story that Baal Shem Tov revealed, he says, there's 2 failings of your great and holy rabbi. What was the second failing? It was Tisha B'Av at night. And your rabbi was midnight at night fasting and bemoaning the Churban, and his prayers pierced the heavens. And there was a whole tumult and rash in heaven that in the merit of your Rav, the Baal Shem Tov is telling the inhabitants of the town at the wedding, heaven said we have to send Mashiach. And the Sultan said, wait a second, I'm going to test him. So he got permission to test him. And the Sultan comes down in the guise of a big Talmud Chacham, and he says to him as follows: the Toldus was exhausted. He'd wrung himself out to the core of his being. And he says, you have sakonas nefashos, you have to eat something. Here's an apple. You have to eat. Your life's in danger. And he argued, all kinds of arguments. He took the apple and he made a bracha, and then all of a sudden he realized this is coming from an impure place. He says, Tumah, out, away, and the Sultan disappeared. But he had made the bracha in vain. He didn't eat the apple, he made it in vain. So now, continue the story. So the Baal Shem Tov is talking to the townsfolk, and he says, now he's talking the story which the Toldus is listening to behind the wall. And he says, and the Rav is crying with the bitterness of his soul that he had stumbled, he had transgressed in invoking Hashem's name in vain. And for you and I, no. But for the Toldus, this was a tragedy for him. And now he's in shul. This is still Tisha B'Av at night, and he's collapsed in pain and exhaustion, and he dreams. He dreams, comes out of the city, and he comes to a garden with the apple trees, beautiful apple trees growing. And it's his city, and he says to himself, I never saw this before. What is this place? And he goes inside the orchard there. And there's an entrance, and there's a shomer sitting here, a guardian at the entrance to enter. And the Rav asks, who does this belong to? And he says, it's yours. This is your orchard, Rabbi. He was shocked in his dream to hear this. And he says, what are you saying? I am the Rav of the city. I don't have an orchard. And the guardian smiles bitterly, and he says to him, I know, dear Rabbi, that this is yours. These trees and these fruit, this belongs to the other side of holiness. And just like from every bracha that a Jew makes, as he showed them for the sake of heaven, he creates a good angel. A blessing in vain creates the angels of destruction. And because of the bracha you said in vain, just now in the Beis Medrash, because you almost succumbed to the seduction of the Satan, so you created this. And I am its guardian. Now we'll see further the problem with this. It's a distorted orchard, and we'll describe in our next installment what he's seeing and how in the end how he rectifies it and becomes a chassid. Okay. Have a wonderful day, everybody.